Mining job hunt video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we are going to be collecting jobs for the sponsors website page, Mining Jobs to Apply For. So this is where we load up all the jobs from around the country that we think you should be applying for once you've done either the DIY or the work ready packages. So just before that, I just want to jump over to a text that I got sent from Sarah, telling me that she got a job in New South Wales as an underground truck driver. So I just wanted to say congratulations to Sarah, and I'd also like to say congratulations to Jack, who also let me know the last couple of days that he got a job about 12 months ago, and after starting out on the mill he moved into a nippering job and now he's up onto service crew. And one of the things that I find most gratifying about getting text messages like this is because people are getting jobs to start with, but also this, you know, being on service crew after only being in the industry for 12 months, that's really good going. And the reason that he was able to do that was because he had all that mining knowledge behind him going in. So well done, Jack. Thank you for sending me that information, and you know, working his ass off as well. That'll be the main reason that he got the promotion, was because he was working his ass off. Otherwise you just don't get them. But it just shows you that if you've got a bit of mining knowledge behind you, you can go through the ranks quickly, and that's what you want if you want to make the money. So let's jump over to Seek and type underground in and give it a spin. Okay, so first up we've got a few full crew ads. And as we've already talked about before, the full crew ads are good to apply for because often they don't get any experienced people applying for the truck driving roles, even though they want experienced people applying for the truck driving roles. So if you can apply and show them that you know how the mine works and actually hold a conversation with them about what's going to be expected of you, then you've got something to offer them. So that's why, you know, the full crew ads are a good way to go, as well as the individual ads. So here's an underground truck job for Goldfields, and again, if you've been watching the videos for any length of time, you will see that Goldfields advertise quite regularly for these truck driving jobs. And here's a good example. The West Gold, they didn't advertise last week, but the week before they had the same ad up. And the reason is that, you know, unfortunately they will go through a lot of the new starters that go in green. Because if you go in green, which don't know anything about mining on day one, then it's more than a 50% failure rate for all the companies, unfortunately. It's just what happens when you take a whole heap of people on and then train them, when you hire first, train second. That's why doing the training is such a good idea, because it helps you understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. And you can apply directly to these guys as well. Aries, they've got their link in the training there that you can apply to, but they all, you know, advertise quite regularly and they like people applying. They've taken quite a few people. Nipper's job with Pit and Portal. Bummico, experienced truck drivers. Now I'm loading this up anyway because they're not going to get that many people with experience applying for these jobs, because anybody with 12 months truck driving experience doesn't want another truck driving job. They want to do what Jack's done. They want to go up onto service crew. So this is why it's a really good thing to apply for. Experienced operators, underground production operators. So if you look at this one, and you wouldn't think that this would be an entry-level job, but we'll have a quick look in a second after I just copy and paste it. If you come down here, you'll see that they want people residing around Parks, New South Wales, on the job training provided. Great entry-level opportunity. So it's just a service crew job. So they're probably helping in the crusher underground and maybe doing some general underground duties like nippering or something like that. So it looks like a good way in, and you know, there's no prerequisites except for the manual driver's license. But just be aware, you know, just because you get the job with this and you don't know anything going in green, it's going to be the same sort of turnover, and that's why these jobs come up. This one doesn't come up that regularly, but this one has come up in the past. So yeah, that's the way that one's going to go. So it's a good opportunity for people in New South Wales. Service crew, underground operator, underground service crew, charge up operators, truck operators, pit and portal. So pit and portal are looking for both nippers and truck operators, and that's just going to be like the same for everybody, because I'm not going to steal the thunder with anybody, but we're going to have a look at the gold price in a minute, and the gold price is over $3,000 an ounce again in Australian dollars, and at that price, everybody's looking for people. So this is Mount Isa looking for people to numerous underground positions across all the mine sites. So that's another entry level one for Mount Isa. So we'll load that one up. And we'll go to page 2. So I apologise for not doing a job hunt video last week. Yeah, the good old autoimmune disease kicked in, so it knocked me on my ass for a few days. But yeah, feeling a lot better now, so thank you to everybody that sent messages through. So this is a nipper's job in WA at Plutonic. Again, they'll want somebody with experience, but like we've talked about before, anybody with the experience level that they want isn't looking for another nipper's job. They're looking for a service crew job. They're looking for something higher. Underground operator, charge up. Longwall, that's all coal. Service crew, utility operator. Dump truck experienced, surface. So the reason that we go and point people in the direction of the underground jobs is because we know there are lots of jobs there and all the employers need entry-level people. Whereas with the surface jobs, they've got a lot of people to choose from, and yeah, it is what it is. So that's why a lot of the traineeships don't pay any money anymore, where a traineeship used to once pay, you know, $100,000 a year. Now you're lucky for it to make $70,000 or $80,000 for the year of the traineeship. So this is a good one too if you're heading to Kalgoorlie, entry-level truck drivers. So that's with high grade. So there's lots of companies around Kalgoorlie all looking for people. But, you know, before you go and jump in the car and drive off without preparing yourself, just be aware that there's just as many people leaving Kalgoorlie every week as there are going to Kalgoorlie, because there's a whole heap of people get there, they get a job, they last a few days or a few weeks or even a few months, and then, you know, the inevitable happens and they up stakes and leave because they had enough of it. So just be aware that if you don't know what you're getting yourself into, it's got a very high failure rate. So it's all about understanding how the mine works and how the industry works, so you know what you're jumping yourself into. That's why we do what we do, and that's why the training exists. So Agi Operators, this is the same thing. They go through a lot of Agi Operators because it's not, you know, all the people that they hire all have extensive Agi driving experience, so it's not that the batching up or anything like that. It's 100% getting lost around the mine, because when you're the Agi operator, you've got to follow the sprayer around, and the sprayer is going to all the active headings, and that means that you're going to be going here, there and everywhere around the mine, and that can be very confusing for somebody that doesn't know what's going on. And so it's easy to get lost and it's easy to get turned over. Coal, underground grader. We'll grab that underground grader. For those that have got grading experience, going in as an underground grader could be a good way to get in, but just be aware that you can sometimes get pigeonholed into that position. Planning engineer, dump truck, raise bore offsider, pry bar. So that could be a good one to get into. And we'll go to page 5. Civil. going to spend some more time having a look at some of the prices, because they have been affected. And like I said, gold's over $3,000 a tonne at the moment. And so my advice to you is that if you weren't aware that gold was over $3,000, I said a tonne, it should be an ounce, $3,000 an ounce at the moment, then you're probably looking in the wrong spot for your job, because the areas of the industry where majority of people are looking are going through flux at the moment with their prices, and all the employers are looking to rationalise, and they're not, they're looking to get people in on traineeships that don't pay a lot. Whereas with the gold side of the industry in Hard Rock Underground, and with also all the batteries that they're making, those areas of the industry, the wages are on the way up big time, and that's where they're actually paying a decent wage. Driller's assistant in Tasmania. Emergency response. Number 7. We'll keep going for a little while. Underground electrician. Talked to a couple of people that wanted to be Sparkies this week. Another electrician. Everybody's looking for everything, especially in the Hard Rock Underground space. There just isn't enough people with the experience that they need. Two places that you can still make money and that still need lots of people: exploration on the surface as offsiders and drillers, and in the Hard Rock Underground mines on the crew. So you can make up to $1,500 to $2,500 a day as a jumbo operator. So when you see all those jumbo operating jobs come through, that's the sort of money that those people are getting paid. Alright, so I think after this one we will go and have a look at the prices, so we can have a look at that. Yep, we will call it there. So let's go and have a look at the prices. So as you can see, gold finished up for the week, and it's $3,024 an ounce, or $3,026 an ounce 20 asking. Copper is down a little bit, it's down to $12,410, and nickel is fluctuating wildly. So nickel is going up and down by anything up to $1,500 a day at the moment. So it was $3,000, it was $36,000 a tonne last time we looked at it, and it's down to $33,000 or just off $34,000 a tonne there. So it's moving around. The reason that these prices are going to fluctuate greatly is because they're part of the battery revolution that's going to save the planet. So expect these prices to rise along with a lot of the other base metals as well. So if we come over and have a look at the coal price, and this is an issue at this price. Unfortunately, it's dropped substantially from last time we looked at it. Last time we looked at it, it was up around $140 a tonne, so even up to $150 a tonne. So down below that $120 a tonne, things become problematic at that price. And if we have a look at iron ore, it's coming down as well. It's down to 105. But as we've talked about in previous videos, what people reckon, or the average that people reckon that iron ore is going to bounce around, is between that 80 and that 110, 120 mark. So as you can see, the oscillations are getting less and less. So it'll try and find its level through there. Hopefully it finds its level on the high side of $100 and not the low side of $100, because that would make a big difference to everybody. So if we go from there and have a look at our map, and this is our map loaded up with all the mines around the country that are producing gold and all the base metals that are going into batteries, because this is where your jobs are going to be. So if you're in Tasmania, there's a fair bit down here in Tasmania, a lot of mines reopening. If you're in Victoria, there's not that many in Victoria, but there's a lot in New South Wales that do drive in, drive out. So obviously for everybody in New South Wales, you can target those. But if you're in southeast Queensland as well, you've got all the stuff that's fly out of Mount Isa. They do that in and out of Brisbane and Townsville. A lot of them just do out of Townsville now, so I've noticed that in some of the things. But if you're down Brisbane way, then you've got the view of driving down to these base metal mines. Now I know, like I just said, a lot of them have just been listing fly out of Townsville. I don't know realistically how long they're going to be able to do that for. I know it's a cost-cutting measure, only having the planes go to one hub and not flying to two. But in the situation they're in, they're just going to need bulk people, and I don't think that they're going to be able to source them just from up the top end of the state. I'm pretty sure that they're going to have to go back to the big metro area to get the people that they need. So keep your eye on that one. In Northern Territory in South Australia, you've got the Olympic Dam and all the prominent hill site. For those that don't know, BHP has taken over Oz Minerals, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. If you're in the Northern Territory, you've got Savannah, which is a big nickel mine that fly out up that area, and you've also got granites, or tanamite as it's sometimes known as well. That's a big gold mine up here in the middle of the Northern Territory. But like I always say, if you really want a job as quickly as possible, then the best thing to do is do what Jack did, is you hit up a mining town like Cobar or Mount Isa or Kalgoorlie. Kalgoorlie's probably the best one to come to, because you can just see the denseness of the mines located around it. There is a bunch of mines just within 50 k's of Kalgoorlie that all are screaming for people. So if you want a mining job, then the best thing you can do is educate yourself, and you can use the sponsors training, the DIY package or the work ready package. The DIY is $495, the work ready is $1,250. You get an experienced shift boss like myself to prep you with the work ready, so it becomes our job to make sure that you've understood the mining information. We do interview prep, come up with a plan of where and how you're going to get in, and help you work that plan. With the DIY, you do all the same online training. It's just, instead of us redoing your resume for you, you redo your resume yourself using the instructions in the back of the Australian Mining Seminar. There's interview prep questions in there, and you can apply directly to a mid-tier miner as well in there. So they've got 10 underground mines around the country that are always looking for people. I've already mentioned them in the video, so feel free to apply once you finish the training. So I hope that was helpful, and again, sorry for not posting a job hunt video last week. Unfortunately, like I said, the autoimmune thing got in the way again. Hopefully that's passed for the moment, and I can keep forging ahead. I've done some videos that I've yet to edit with requests in them, so look out for those. I just did one on engineers that I've released, so look out for that. But as always, if you've got any questions or you want any information about the industry, please send them through. And if you could share this information around and like and subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. Thanks.